Again, we're here today at the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship. We want to thank the Hunter Burton Memorial Foundation for hosting this tournament. This is their 10th anniversary for the tournament. They always raise awareness for suicidal ideation within the gaming community and have a local outreach community program to try to raise awareness of mental health. If you would like to donate, this year's charity is 988. It's a Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988 is a U.S. national number that you can dial anytime you or a loved one are facing suicidal ideations or a mental health crisis.
Wesley stepping away for a minute. For anybody watching, one thing I'll note, I do see the color combos on the top are not quite accurate. Obviously, on the left, we see steel amethyst up against steel sapphire. So those color combos are off, and we'll try to have that fixed. this is an interesting build off here on the right. Sapphire Steel. We see Vault Door in play, meaning that Kylie is looking to get some advantage out of her locations. Unfortunately, her one location was banished early on. So trying to set up some location synergy there. Let's see if she can get it going. Here we go. One of the nephews in the nephew combo. So here we go. Queen's Castle doing work, allowing Kylie to draw extra 2 cards with those 2 characters sitting there. You know, that's one of the things about locations is that the passive lore gain's nice, the abilities are nice, but you know, with locations on the board instead of characters, obviously you can't do as much, and it doesn't give you the offensive capability to affect your opponent's board. So, you know, balancing out, you know, when to include locations versus characters, you kind of have to. It's a decision you have to make about how many to include. Ideally, I think, you know, what Kylie wants to do with this deck, it seems, is get locations out a bit earlier, start to get that passive lore gain and force your opponent to react. The locations coming out a little bit later here have maybe put her a bit on the back foot. And Maid Marian coming into play. Beautiful art by Jenna Gray. I'll know it's probably one of my favorite in this set.
And again, we are live here at the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship, the first Lorcana Championship at the Hunter Burton Memorial. We're so thankful to be here hosting with 20 Lore Pro. I'm Sir Ashtown, and join with us are the Illuminateers here, Liam and his wife, Erin. Thank you all again for coming.
Thanks for inviting us. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we're really excited to just be a part of helping raise awareness in the gaming community of suicidal ideations and helping raise funds for 988 as they're a national hotline for those who are in a mental crisis or having suicidal ideations. That number 988 is available for you if you or a loved one needs help.
No, that's so well said. I absolutely love it. You know, gaming communities are communities, and it's always amazing to see them come together to support a good cause. And the Hunter Burton Memorial Tournament is something that I became aware of a few years ago, and to be here at the first ever Lorcana event is just amazing. So thanks to all the players, thanks to 20 Lore Pro for putting this on, thanks to the Hunter Burton Foundation for all that you do around this issue, and gosh, to get to watch competitive Lorcana while supporting a good cause is just, I mean, it doesn't get any better.
No, you can't. And it's such a just coping mechanism for myself and for many others, just a way to self-care away from the stresses of life and to have a safe outlet to go to. That's what really TCGs have become for so many players and for myself. Well, looking at the game, we see a lot of damage on that location. I believe that's the Queen's Castle. Quite a strong card that can really gain you lore during your upkeep and draw you cards depending on how many characters you have on that location.
Yeah, and Courtney's gotten quite a bit of value out of it so far, drawing at least 4 cards, I think, a couple turns in a row here. Fantastic card if you can get it to stick. And this game, it is stuck.
And Courtney not only having the Queen's Castle, but we also see her playing a Beast, another card that can draw you cards at your upkeep if it has no damage on it. Having so many card draw engines on your side of the board can really help you build up resources in your hand so that way you can have answers for anything that your opponent throws at you.
Yeah, I would say I think it's TCG 101, like rule 1 is more cards is better. So when you have cards, you have answers, and Yeah, where card draw is such a premium, and that's why Amethyst is so good.
We see Kylie counting up her inkwell. Looks like she's got quite a big card to play here.
Here comes Pluto. There we go. Kylie using Maid Marian there to remove that location finally. Kylie said enough card draw from the Queen's Castle. We're gonna get that out of here. Moving both her characters over to Montanui. So not only will that get her extra ink, but more importantly in this scenario, the vault door will give all characters their resist. So not only are the locations protected, but now those characters with resist as well.
So many of these new locations just doing a lot of work for these players, especially with the passive lore that they gain.
Yeah, that looks like game one.
Yeah, and there's a handshake from Kylie and Courtney. Just, again, so many resources on Kylie's side of the board, just able to draw and find the cards that she needed in order to get the win out for game one. Love seeing the new locations from Into the Inklands being played so much, with the Queen's Castle making a big impact, and like you were saying, Liam, this Montanui card.
Yeah, I think I'll be interested to see how game two goes here. I think the Steel Sapphire deck probably didn't quite get the start it wanted to, so I'm interested to see how it goes this game. Of course, Amethyst again doing what Amethyst does mid game, making use of the rabbit, lots of cards, and then Queen's Castle there has become a really important mid to end game card for a lot of these Amethyst decks. Not only do they have the two lore. Not only have the two lore, but the card draw. If you can get it to go off even just once with a couple of characters, it's a couple extra cards. It's sometimes, most of the time, enough to take you over the top.
And just the ability, that we saw during that game, to use the fox to bounce your rabbit and either gain you some card draw or take damage away from an important character like Beast. It's things that we've seen Amethyst do great in set 2, and we're seeing it again here in Into the Inklands.
Yeah.
So as we're going into game 2 of round 1, we just want to give a big shout out to some of our sponsors today. We had GFQ Underground, who printed those playmats that y'all are seeing on the screen with Simba and his son looking up into the sky at their father Mufasa. Just really embodies the feeling and the remembrance of our loved ones who have died, and how we carry them with us no matter where we go in our lives. So thank you so much, GFQ Underground, for printing those playmats, and to our artist of the playmats with Diamond Ink Apparel. We want to thank Diamond Ink Apparel so much for being able to do the artwork for those mats and really depict this wonderful scene. So here we go into game 2 of round 1 here at the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship. Kylie starting us off with a Captain Hook.
Captain Hook, great, first turn card, offensive, can take every opponent's board, but also a shift target. And I don't know that this deck is running the Captain Hook thinking happy thoughts, but it's something you have to think about now, because we have seen that card pop up a bit more in the meta. It's a great early turn card that has pretty high strength on the challenge.
That's what's so interesting about going into the Inklands, is there's a couple of combos that if you're not quite ready for them, they can really come out from underneath you and steal some wins. Love the artwork on that little fella from Moana.
Pooh is so happy.
That's something that I really enjoy about all these Disney films is that they have their cute, cuddly creature companions that come alongside them as they're going about their adventure.
Yeah, so Captain Hook, I think as a first turn card, gained even more value with Into the Inklands. One of the things that we've seen, with locations are, the lower cost locations tend to have higher, willpower, and so compared to characters of equal value, they're a little bit harder to remove. They take a lot more strength because of that willpower. So Captain Hook on turn 1 with Challenger 2. Giving Kylie the ability to, do a lot more damage than most early turn characters to that early location.
Yeah, exactly. As you were saying, Liam, that early location got taken out there by that Captain Hook who had that challenger and was able to get in. Now we see Courtney with 1 character on board, staring at Kylie's 4-character board.
Yeah, Kylie going wide here early. We have the gosh, I remember that. I forget the name of it, but the Robin Hood by Nuka that can do 1 damage. And again, the Robin Hoods shift targets again for the brand new Floodborn Robin Hood, which we've seen Kylie play already. So not only are these Robin Hoods great early game, but also serve as important shift targets. Those Robin Hoods able to come down at a moment's notice and do some work.
And there's that Robin Hood Champion of Sherwood up on the screen for you to see. Really strong body with that 3/6. Great defense, and just able to really help clean up the board and draw you some cards whenever he leaves. There's Kylie with that Queen's Castle again. Again, just setting up and putting herself in the best position to have the ability to have more resources than her opponent. Well, as we're waiting for the screen to come back, we just want to thank again our sponsors who are here with all of the product that came from the Card Haven in Lewisville, Texas, and Evolutions Trading in Killeen. Thank you all so much for your support and for providing prize support to these wonderful players here today at the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship.
Appreciate for everyone who's joining us early this morning. I really appreciate it. Again, super excited to be here as guest commentators here with 20 Lore Pro. We are working through a few things on the tech side. We know colors on the top, we need to get matching, and there's a bit of lag where that'll all be worked out here shortly. Anytime you pick up an entire setup, like a streaming setup, and you set up in a remote location, with convention center internet and everything, you oftentimes have to work through some challenges, and we're doing that this morning, but we'll have it all cleaned up here shortly. What we do know is that the lore totals, we've got those pretty much right, so you can see, how this game is progressing. Again, Courtney, very similar to last game here, mid-game using both the rabbit and the Queen's Castle to gain some card advantage. Yeah, so it's good to see. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, I thought I'd come hang out with you while Wesley's chatting with our tournament leads here.
Yeah. No, it's good. So Aaron, we're here with the whole family. Lorcana is a family endeavor for us. So we have Aaron, Elena, and myself here, hanging out at the tournament, meeting some great players, and watching some fantastic Lorcana. Here, Kylie, taking a look at that Queen's Castle and trying to get a little damage on it, get it off the board, so it doesn't do as much work as it did last game.
I have to say, I'm loving seeing I know you and Wesley talked about this earlier today, but I'm loving seeing the just all of the different types of players that we have at the tournament today. I know you mentioned Kylie is one of our, I think, youngest competitors at the tournament today, and it's so great to see that this is really a family affair. Olena's not the only baby here, so we have other, new generation Lorcana players joining us for this incredible cause. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really great to see. We have some competitive players here, some very competitive players here too, some former MTG players. Aaron Rubin's in the house, so from all walks of life, all ages, all experience levels. It's a very diverse field, and it's pretty great to see. Here comes Tinkerbell, the card that everybody fears, one of the cards everybody fears in Steel, able to do damage across the board to your opponent's characters, and here she is on turn 6. Courtney questing all her characters, scooping up some extra lore, putting her, I think, one turn. I think that's endgame showing on the table. Yeah, so it's enough to put the game away, unless Kylie can deal with some of the threats on the board. Pua is an interesting card. I feel like making an appearance in not just this deck, but we're seeing Pua sneak into a few different competitive decks. It's 2 lore on turn 2, I think is what it is. It's an aggressive card from Amethyst, but it has a little more body on turn 2 than cards like Pinocchio with high lore but lower stats. So Pua able to withstand a Tinkerbell and a really fun early game card. With 2 lore on turn 2, I think is why you see it oftentimes.
Yeah, like you were saying, Liam, Pua just being a card that can really get quests for quite a bit of lore, and we're seeing that right now on Courtney's board, really paying off as Courtney has so many characters on her side.
And as we mentioned it, there goes Pua to the discard pile. So we have 5 lore showing in the board. Kylie doing just enough to keep what Courtney has on the board from putting her over the top of 20. Of course, we know in Amethyst, when you're at 18 or 19 lore, you are 1 goat away from the win.
1 goat away.
So we'll see if that happens.
We see along a Zeus. There came Zeus. Really one of the strongest cards from Into the Inklands for removal. Just has seen so much play as it deals 5 damage to any character or location. Also a wonderful song from Hercules.
It is. I wanna hum it in my head every time it's played. One of the things that makes this card so good is, there are a lot of meta cards, a lot of cards that are very popular with 5 willpower. Beast is 1, Tragic Hero, of course Tinkerbell is another. And so the fact that it does 5 damage allows you to clean up a lot of these very popular cards. At 4 damage, even if it costs 1 less, it just wouldn't be as good. So it is an answer to a lot of very popular meta cards. I think that's one of the reasons too that Robin Hood, the Shift Robin Hood, Hero of Sherwood, I think,
is Champion of Sherwood.
Champion of Sherwood is so good. It's because it has 6 willpower, and that extra 1 means that it takes just a little bit more than an Along Came Zeus to remove it. So 6 willpower in a card's stat line became a lot better with the advent of Along Came Zeus.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And there was the handshake by Kylie and Courtney. Courtney taking game 2 and the round for the first round. We want to thank both of these competitors for coming out and really just showing the best in Lorcana and competing, especially Kylie for coming and volunteering to be on the feature match. I know it takes a lot of courage, especially for myself to come to the feature match, but especially for a child to come on. That's really wonderful to see. And so we want to thank Courtney and Kylie for coming on.
No, absolutely. I recently recorded a game online, and I was so nervous. My hands were shaking the whole time. It was a deck I knew. I knew what I was doing. I was excited to play it. But man, when you know people are watching you, you're right. It does gives you a little bit of extra adrenaline, and so I appreciate you saying that. True.
Hello, everybody. We are here with our first player of the interview today. You just saw her in that last feature matchup. This is Kylie. Say hi.
Hi.
So, Kylie, I think, can you tell us kind of a little bit about your deck that you played? I think you played Sapphire Steel.
Yes, I did play Sapphire Seal. I actually built the deck all by myself, and it is kind of like a bolt deck. It has a bunch of resist cards and cards with high power. It's a really fun to play. Even though it doesn't win all the time, it's still fun to play. And I just love playing Lorcana. It's one of my favorite card games.
That's awesome. What other card games have you played before?
I've played Lord of the Rings, Commander, or aka Magic. There's I think that's it.
Okay.
I play a lot of Standard though. I don't play a lot of Standard. I play Standard sometimes though.
That's awesome. So I noticed that you're here today with your dad. Is this kind of like a hobby that y'all like to do together? Do you play at your local game store?
Yes, we do. We play at 2 different game stores. We play Lorcana and Magic together. It's one of our favorite hobbies. And we play also a bunch of board games together as well.
That's amazing. So, okay, so you were playing Sapphire Steel. So what kind of made you choose those two ink colors?
Those 2 colors really stuck out for me because the deck I'm playing. Because I know blue or Sapphire has a lot of resist cards, but so does Steel. And Steel has a bunch of like big guys with like for like Eeyore. He's a 4/5, I believe. So he's big guy, and but they're also low cost, so they're good to play.
Okay. My goodness, I had another question about your deck. So have you been playing Sapphire Steel for a long time, or did you switch over when Into the Inklands came out?
Actually, I just switched over a little bit while. This is my first real deck I've built. I edited a starter deck, but I don't think that really counts.
I mean, I think it counts. I think it's a good way for a lot of people to learn. I'm sure a lot of people watching the stream have picked up a starter deck and
Yeah.
edited that a little bit themselves.
Yeah, but no, I completely made it from scratch.
This is
what-
great.
But I played Emerald Red,
Oh, Ruby Emerald?
Ruby Emerald, yes.
The starter deck from,
Yeah.
I think, the first chapter?
Yes.
Okay.
I started about a little while a little bit while after the second set started. So when it started getting a little popular, I did actually I used to not play Lorcana like in August because I didn't know what it was. We actually saw it at a convention we went to, Gen Con.
Oh,
It was a huge thing.
yeah.
And it was really cool, but the line was way too long, so I didn't get to go on set, and sadly. But
So is the Hunter Burton tournament your very first tournament to play in, or have you played in other tournaments back home?
I've played in other tournaments, but not Lorcana tournaments. It's my first Lorcana tournament, and I really like it.
Awesome.
We've played like not non-competitive tournaments, like casual friendly, but like we play casual friendly. I've never played a tournament, and I'm really excited.
Well, you did such an amazing job in the first round. What are you looking forward to most today?
I'm really looking forward to playing a lot more Lorcana and just meeting a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Because a Lorcana has people who play Lorcana are they play a lot nicer than a lot of other card games I played. As like my dad says, it's camouflage.
Oh, what do you mean by that? What do you think your
Um,
dad means by that?
He says because like nobody's gonna like none of the tough competitor players that like in Magic, nobody's gonna yell about I didn't tap my Mickey yet or something because that's just not or people are gonna think, oh, this is too kiddish when it's actually a great game. It's just has Disney art style.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he means by camouflage.
I think that's I think that's what's so special about Lorcana. is because it is Disney, it brings a lot of new players in. Do you have any advice for new Lorcana players, or maybe players that are kind of your age who might want to try out Lorcana for the first time?
Um, I have a little bit of advice. Just even though it might seem a little scary, it is really fun once you actually start playing. First round might not go too good. It's my first round of anything, or like fifth round or 10th round didn't go good either. For a lot of people, unless you're just a master at it. But so just keep playing, and I think you might enjoy it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out. This is such a great event. It is doing a lot of good in the community, raising awareness about suicide prevention and supporting people. So, for those of you watching, please check out the Hunter Burton Memorial website and consider giving back to this community as well. Thanks so much, Kylie, for chatting with me, and best of luck today. Let me give you a handshake. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.